We'll move on to our team selector. Going to be quite an interesting one, this, apart from maybe the back four. Beth, we'll come to you on this first. I mean, Alisson Becker is going to be in goal. That's undoubtable. But who are you going to go for in the back four? Granted, options are pretty limited, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I think obviously the centre-backs pick themselves. Got to be Gomez and Matip, unless Klopp's feeling a bit wild and throws Nat Phillips in there. But yeah, no, I think I'd go Gomez and Matip. I know Trent obviously was hooked a bit early at Brighton, but I'd bring Trent in and Robertson as well.
Dolly, how about yourself?
Yeah, the same.
Theo, I mean, let's make it a bit different. Is there a case for Nat Phillips? Let's say if Wolves hypothetically did start Diego Costa, would you give Nat a game, or are you going to go the same back four?
No, we'll play Nat from the start. If you're not going to be starting him in the cup games, you're not going to start him in the Premier League ones. I don't think Diego Costa's even anywhere near first choice for Wolves these days now, is he? I'm sure they've got a few ahead of him. It's got to be the same back five. The only one you could really make a claim for is maybe James Milner. But then Wolves have got pace out wide. Stick with Trent. Just hope he can find a bit of form.
We'll stay with you then, Theo, if you want to talk through your midfield.
Bajcetic, Thiago, and one other. I think there is an argument at some point for James Milner to come into midfield because he has been playing really well when he is selected at right back. But for this occasion, I'll stick with Naby Keita.
Beth, anything different?
No, I think sort of Liverpool's best hope at the moment is to try and get a bit of momentum. And I think, you know, with those three having played a few games together now, it's probably best to continue with it. So yeah, I'd stick with that.
Dolly, are you going to make it 3 from 3? And if so, talk us on to your attack as well.
No, I'm not. So having talked up the need for momentum and consistency, I'm not playing Bajcetic. I play Fabinho. I think he's had 3 games out. But he should really have another 3 games out, to be honest, after nearly taking Evan Ferguson's leg off. Not entirely sure he wasn't sent off for that. I think even he probably thinks that as well, judging from his reaction when he made the tackle. Terrible cameo, wasn't it? He'd already given the ball away. He'd literally been on the pitch for about 60 seconds and nearly created a chance for Brighton from the edge of the Brighton area by losing the ball. It's like, he's a defensive midfielder for a start. What is he doing there? And then, anyway, don't get me started. But the point being, I do think that if there's now probably his time as good as any to get him in there. I think he should be playing. I think he's had his little, rap on the knuckles, as it were. So, and you can't just rely on Bajcetic. You can't. He's literally played he started 1 Premier League game in his entire career. One, and that was last week.
Got a clean sheet, though.
He did get a clean sheet, but that was partly due to the fact that Chelsea, that new guy, just didn't understand where the goal was, and he kept this into the side netting. Yeah, I do think, play Fabinho, I play Thiago, and I'm going to play Curtis Jones. Now, because if you take him Bajcetic out, he can run around. Fabinho, just say to Fabinho, just stay there and protect the back four. Just stay there. Do not go anywhere else. Don't try and do this thing where, because you scored some goals last January, you have to go up front and try and score some goals. Don't. Stay back there. Let Jones do a lot of the running. And Jones, what is sometimes regarded as a criticism, certainly when Liverpool like to play counter-attack, is that he keeps hold of the ball for too long. But actually, that can be a strength in a game like this, where Liverpool have just lately just been giving it away, straight away, just like belting it straight to the opposition. He can hold on to it for a bit, and I think that can bring other people into the game, and I think Thiago could benefit from that as well. So I'm playing those 3 in midfield. Up front, Sal's got to play, so he's on the right. They've got to play Nunes down the middle. He's got to come back in and play. And then it's between, and you know what? I'm going to stick with Elliott on the left. I'm going to stick with Elliott on the left because I think it's not his best position, but he showed against Brighton, he put in a massive stint, put in a lot of hard work. And when he went off, I know he scored, but when he went off, they didn't half miss him in terms of what he brought the team. I don't necessarily think bringing Nunes on the left in that game particularly worked. And Gakpo's had 4 games, hasn't he? It's still very early days for him. It's easy just to, just say to him, come on, just take him out, and he could be one of the first subs along with Milner, because I think Milner, Theo's right, I think Milner, he's always, he comes in with a lot of stick because he's nearly as old as I am, but he's not got pace. But you saw against Brighton, he probably dealt with a little bit better with the winger than Trent did, and Trent's way faster than Milner is. It's all about positioning and knowing where you need to be and being disciplined. So
and when to foul someone.
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the kind of thing that Liverpool should be better at doing, fouling people. Fouling is part of the game. I've had this conversation with my dad so many times, and he says, "Oh, it's not part of the game." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it is." He says, "Well, people should get penalised for it." It's like, well, yeah, they do. It's called a free kick, or a yellow card, or a red card, or in Fabinho's case, a yellow card. So I do think that, Liverpool have got to get a bit wiser, and I think they could use the experience of Milner, get him off the bench if things are going well second half.
Yeah, I mean, I like the shout of Jones in midfield, and Elliott could have a shout on the left wing. I mean, Theo, what are you going to do with your attack?
Salah stays in because Salah always stays in. I'd agree, Núñez down the middle. I prefer him down the middle. It was one thing playing him on the left before Christmas, before the World Cup, but that was through necessity with injuries where they had Firmino down the middle. But I'd stick with Gakpo, but I want him on the left. Like, it's his favoured position. I know they're seemingly trying to have him as this Firmino successor and get him to be this deeper player who can link up. And we were starting to see the early signs of that against Brighton last week. But he is a player who prefers to play on the left. He was at his best for PSV on the left. He was at his best for the Netherlands on the left. It's all very well playing the long game as a Firmino successor, but you've still got Jota in there. You've still got Núñez in there. Focus on the now, put players in their best positions, get the results, and see how high up the table you can get from it. We saw it when Liverpool had to put Phillips and Williams at centre-back. Putting actual defenders at centre-back was what made their season in 2021, rather than having the midfielders there. Put your forwards in their favourite positions and hope that it clicks.
Yeah, I mean, very, very valid point. Beth, you'll round off our team selector, and you've got the casting vote, it seems, between Harvey Elliott and Cody Gakpo. Who are you going to go for?
I might be really controversial as the other two are so adamant that Salah has to start. And there's part of me that thinks Salah does have to start, but equally, on his recent form, you could argue maybe not. So I'm going to put Núñez through the middle, definitely. Gakpo on the left. You know what? Just to spice up the afternoon, I'm going to say let's bench Salah and bring Elliott in on the right, and then bring Salah on at half time if it's not going well. Because that was where, I think if there's any game Harvey Elliott can go into with a bit of confidence after his showing at Wolves on the right a few weeks ago, it's probably this one. So I'm going to mix it up and do that, and then bring Salah on at half time if things aren't going well.
Big change. That would be a statement. Dorian, Theo, I'm sure you've got something to say on that one.
No. What did you say? Not to say anymore. I've said he's playing.
No, you don't. No, but I mean, to be fair, there's a case for it, but certainly, isn't there? I mean, Salah hasn't exactly been firing at the moment, but
apart from when he set up the goal last week, if he just
and then he scored,
And when he scored against Wolves at Anfield.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott scored in the last game against them. They'd be harsh to drop him. And
you play them both. You put Elliott on the left like I've done. Come on.
Well, anyway, we'll leave the team selector there. I'm sure people in the comments will have plenty to say on that one.